It says predict how the graph is related, and then it says sketch the graph. I am going to get you guys to just ignore the domain, put a line through it for at least one period. That's more typical of your exam. Okay? Predict how this graph would look. Well, the 1/4, let's just write things above here. What's that 1/4 do? Vertical compression. You're going to multiply your y values by 1/4. We also can now add to that our amplitude is 1/4. So it tells us two things for a sine graph. Okay? Next, the 3. That's a horizontal compression, x by 1/3. Specifically, for us, it tells us that our period is 2 pi over 3. That's just a horizontal translation. Pi over 6 to the left. And finally, the 2 is a vertical translation 2 up, but it also tells us our sinusoidal axis is at y equals 2. So there's our description of what's all happening. Now we can use DAB-C to graph this. Okay? It says list all the characteristics. We kind of already did in our description, right? We listed the amplitude, sinusoidal axis, the period. So from here, the first thing I look at when I'm drawing my axes is, as I'm doing this, I'm already thinking, why did I draw it like this? Because it's going to be up. Our center line's at 2. So we're going to need more above than below. Okay? Our center line is 2, 1, 2. Okay? And my ticky marks here are also decided by my amplitude. Why didn't I make it like this? 1, 2. Right? I might have chosen that if my amplitude was 10, because I need to go up 10 and down 10. But since my amplitude is 1/4, those little ones are useless. So I'm going to draw my center line. Y equals 2. Off to the side, my DAB-C thinking. Completed the D. Label my maximum, 2.25, and my minimum, 1.75. So I need to go up 1/4 and down 1/4. And I estimate to my best of ability what 1/4. I'm kind of feeling like that one's a little high. There we go. Oh. There. That's full. That's nice. Okay? So our A value is used to write our maximum and minimum. Our B value to find our period. We already wrote down our period was 2 pi over 3. Choose a random spot. 2 pi over 3 that you can divide nicely into 4 sections. Okay? And half will be pi over 3. Half of that, pi over 6. 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, pi over 2. Next, the B value is done. Temporarily graph it without the phase shift. It's a cos graph. Where does a cos graph start? At a maximum. Then the next one will be at the center line, the minimum, center line, maximum. Dotted line. It's a very skinny little coast graph. The dash part is done. Finally, our phase shift. We need to now move this pi over 6 to the left. Okay, good thing we have pi over 6 already, so we know where negative pi over 6 would be. Shift that one over, this one over, this one over. Okay. So this is at least one period. The textbook asked you to graph it from negative 2 pi to 2 pi. Does it make sense to you that if this is 2 pi divided by 3, that's a third of 2 pi. You would have another one here, and then I'd have to go off the screen here, and 2 pi would be over here. Yes, I do. I'll get it open for you. And then you would continue this until you end it right here at 2 pi. And you'd have to do the same thing on the other side until negative 2 pi. And there would be lots of points, up, middle, minimum, middle, maximum, middle, minimum, middle, maximum, middle, maximum, middle, minimum, maximum. Yeah. You'd have to keep going until you got to 2 pi. So it's a little bit annoying that they said from negative 2 pi to 2 pi, because it's not hard. And even if you had to do that, you'd probably first still draw one period anyways, and then you just have to extend a lot of ticky marks until you've got it all done. Okay, so let's try some for practice. Question number 3, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And I think in number 11 you have to remember to factor. So, why do I do this? I'll tell you. I mail things that need little light boxes. And these are little light boxes. And if this isn't ripped open, they can be used. If it is, then they can't. So, no, that's fine.